episode 5 in the room of the sun. You see a new poster this time right here in the background with the Masonic checkerboard floor, which we talked about earlier. F is for 6 because it's the 6th letter of the alphabet. So the title, in a subtle way, points out F is for 6, and the title can be an acronym. If you drop the is, FFF, or 666. F is for family is not the first to use FFF to symbolize 666. In this CNN show called Finding Jesus, the subtitle is Faith, Fact, Forgery. That's FFF as an acronym. Faith, Fact, Forgery. And one eye symbolism right there with Jesus showing one eye. F equals 6. F is for 6. Also in this Batman episode, episode 33, released in 1966, same year the Church of Satan was founded. It's titled Fine Finny Fiends. Episode 33. 33 is a Masonic number, highest degree in Freemasonry. This is Batman episode Fine Finny Fiends. Again, it's FFF 666 Encoded. You know, these satanic brotherhoods, cults, such as Skull and Bones, they love to place the truth in plain sight.
That is Bruce Wayne's grandfather, Mrs. Cooper.
His great-grandfather.
I understand he was tapped for Skull and Bones.
Tapped for it? Sir, he founded Skull and Bones.
John Kerry and George Bush are both a part of Skull and Bones, among others. Back to F is for family. In this episode 2, the father goes to work. He shows his son. The schedule says it's the most important thing. Let's take a look at that schedule. Now, I'm sure there's a bunch of things going on here, right here, but I just want to point out for purposes of this video, this 666.543 Heisenberg, which is related to the number pi, and then it says plane 666. So notice that there's that 666, that 666, and there's Heisenberg, which will come back later on when I connect it to pi. In this scene in F is for family, the neighbor gives concert tickets to the Shire of the Elfin King to Frank Murphy, and on the concert tickets there's 666 visible, and he says, "Blamma jamma, look at that." Just notice how he says, "Look at that," pointing it out.
Blamma jamma, look at that.
So let's not forget that these concert tickets are for a concert for this band. This band that the son is listening to on his headphones right there, reading the album cover. It's the same band that had the Masonic checkers and the unicorn, which is symbolic of the Antichrist, which I covered in my last video. Here's a close-up of the cover. This is the picture that he's looking at, the unicorn wearing the checkered sweatshirt, orange jester hat. So this unicorn symbolizes the Antichrist, and this woman symbolizes the Whore of Babylon. This is another pyramid in the background. Here's another unicorn, an all-seeing eye pyramid. And here's another unicorn in episode 3.
Blamma jamma, look at that.
Revelation 13:15-18. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Revelation 14:9-11. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead, or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So the source of this number, the Bible, tells us those who have wisdom and understanding are instructed to count the number of this man's name, who is the Antichrist, which we are told in God's Word is 666. So in this scene in F is for Family, the kid is watching a TV show called Rob the Bank, and the total retail price of the grand prize is $314.16, and I've noticed that this is pi.
This number was so fundamental to our universe because the circle is so fundamental to our universe, and it just showed up. It just showed up for every circle. The ratio of the circumference to diameter was this kind of magical number. They gave it a name. They called it pi, or you could just give it the Latin or the Greek letter pi, just like that. That represents this number, which is arguably the most fascinating number in our universe. It first shows up as the ratio of the circumference to the diameter, but you're going to learn as you go through your mathematical journey that it shows up everywhere. It's one of these fundamental things about the universe that just makes you think that there's some order to it.
You're looking at the gematria calculations of individual words of Mark of the Beast added up to 144. And when you add up the first 144 decimal digits of pi, you get 666. Also notice the sum of the first 66 values, you get skull and bones 322. It's the number of skull and bones, 322, which was mentioned earlier in that Batman episode. This is an excerpt. Pi also appears in physics that describes waves, such as ripples of light and sound. It even enters into the equation that defines how precisely we can know the state of the universe, known as Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Remember back over in this scene in F is for Family, where the 666s appeared. There was also here Heisenberg playing 666. Let's take a look at what the mainstream has to say about Heisenberg principle.
Normally, if you think about the electron as the analog of a baseball, you should be able to say where it is at any given moment and how fast it's moving at that moment. Heisenberg says you can't do that when it comes to objects like electrons, because once you know where it is, there's uncertainty, Heisenberg tells us, regarding its speed. And if you know its speed, Heisenberg says, there's then uncertainty associated with where the object is located.
Now I find it interesting what that man said in a biblical context when you're thinking about how we're given the number and we're given numerous multiple warnings and signs from the heavens from our Father in heaven, and we were given Jesus Christ for salvation and redemption, and yet they're telling us that there's uncertainty, and even if we know what their number is, there's still uncertainty if we don't know what could happen. I just find that kind of funny and intentional to put doubt in people who may be weak in their faith when we already know what's going to happen in the end. As you can see, pi is part of that formula, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So we started with F is for Family, the title being abbreviated as FFF when you drop the word is, and the F is the sixth letter of the alphabet, and that would be 666. This cartoon has 666 coded throughout. not only just the numbers, there's also the Masonic ground floor, checkered floor, the eye, the unicorn, the all-seeing pyramid, eye. They're just interfaces now. They really don't care. Or maybe they just think you're too stupid to care. Maybe they think you're too stupid to even see it. Well, I'm here to tell you what the F is for, and it's not for family. It's for 666. It's the same idol worship and sun worship, and they're telling us their schedule. See, the thing is, God already has His schedule, and He already told us. It's called the Bible. You just got to open it up and read it. It's all right there. They have this schedule, this 666 schedule that they have to follow. But God has His schedule, and His playbook is laid out right there in the Bible. And it's a sobering thought, but I think this is where we are in the playbook. It tells us right here. So we need to follow God's schedule and do what He wants of us. See, that's the whole idea, is that Satan's trying to pull us away from God's schedule with his satanic schedule. We need to clutch on to God's word and pray, fast, and pray again continuously. And if you're a believer, and if you haven't read Revelation, I suggest you do, even if you don't believe. And if you don't believe, I suggest that you consider looking further into this, because this is reality, this is real. Jesus Christ is truth, the way, and life. He's the only thing true in this world, and He's the only way to survive what's coming.
And you be to Jesus for the cleansing power. Are you washed in the blood of